Hi everybody, all the zodiacs, all my seekers, everyone who comes to me for a reading or watches my videos. I refer to you as a seeker. Makes sense to me. You're seeking knowledge, seeking answers. I think it's beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. If you are following me, subscribe, etc. I am really humbled and I really appreciate your time and energy and trust. And I hope I convey my messages the best way possible. Thank you for those of you who are commenting and giving positive feedback. That includes constructive criticism. For example, some of you wrote about the sound that you can't hear me properly, so I tried to fix it. Let me know how it sounds. But keep in mind that this is my safe place, my channel, and I pick and choose. So if you have a need to be really negative or insulting or hurtful, you are just going to be deleted or even blocked. It's as simple as that. Not going to spend my energy on that one. No apologies. With that being said, thank you for those of you who are very supportive and very positive. I wanted to make a video, the 13th element, that is for all the zodiacs, about the power of manifestation. I think I speak about it a lot in my videos, but like sporadically. If a card comes up that reminds me of it, or if it pops in my head, and I speak partly about this, partly about that, but I wanted to do something more inclusive, and I hope I'll manage to touch everything because I didn't form a list. Every time I try to go by a list, like writing notes for myself, then I kind of lose the magic of it. So I'm just gonna let whatever needs to come out come out. Keep, hold on until the end for a few announcements, very small ones, just a little bit of technical information about me and how you can reach me and how we can have readings in case you're interested, etc. Yeah. So, manifestation, that's a big word that is being used a lot in the energetic community, in healers, people in general. It's no longer something that only the crazy people or the hippies talk about. It has become part of our daily language. People are more comfortable and less timid mentioning the word. I think it's mostly thanks to social media and the internet. People are just more, open in their communication about it, and that gives courage for others to also participate and to show, yeah, I also think in that way, and yes, I also believe in these things. So I'm very grateful to the era of information that is upon us. I think we are in a very, very special time. There are, of course, the negative aspects of it, social media and over knowledge, and nothing is private anymore. But then again, this is just bringing us closer and closer to the notion and realization and practical existence of the fact that we are all one, right? We are just our collective subconscious. We are all just this giant web that is very, very much connected. And we are just, if in our mind, if in our one brain, there's lots of cells and neurotransmitters, etc., then it feels almost like if we take this brain in relation to the grand scheme, to the collective brain, that this would be one cell or one neurotransmitter in this grand scheme. And I feel like this is what creates the divine, God, and the spirit, all of us together. It's also why I really believe that group energy and group healing and group work and manifestation is very, very powerful, because the more energy, the more body parts take part in the vision and in the path of the body, the more it can move faster and better, right? So if more parts of that collective subconscious, of the collective mechanism, the collective brain are working and operating together, then the more the machine can move faster and better. For example, if you want to get up and walk, but everything is up for it except for your left leg, no, I'm not coming. It doesn't matter how much 90% of your body would be moving. It's still not going to happen. You won't be moving. You won't be progressing if your left leg is objecting and staying put. That's how we are as humanity. That's how we are as collective, the way I see it. The day will come, hopefully, maybe someday, theoretically or not theoretically, where we will all be in tuned with light and with creation and with positive growth and spiritual evolution, where we will all just kind of leap forward in massive growth. But right now, you see it little by little because it's just parts of us that are progressing and parts of us that are seeking. You guys are my seekers. You are seeking, and that's, those are the aware parts of humanity that are contributing to the growth and to the evolution of our existence. And I really value you and very grateful for every single one of you who is on that journey. So with that, with the power of the collective subconscious, with the power that we have as a mechanism, let's relate to ourselves as individuals for a second, because let's face it, this is the reality, the matrix that we're living in right now, right? You sitting in front of me at home watching me is an individual. And you have your own dreams and aspirations and challenges and karma and events and people and relationships that you just want to make the best out of. Okay, so let's take it down a notch, this conversation from the big collective, and bring it back to this table, literally. A sip of my coffee. Yeah, I've grown from 1 cup of coffee a day to 2. Good. I like it. It's not hurting me. Oh well. So that brings me to speak about manifestation. And to go back a little bit to how I started, how it's a very big word that is used a lot. There's a lot of knowledge and information out there about it. Some of it is amazing and I find to be deep and truthful. Some of it is just, I find to be very pretentious and inaccurate and borderline dangerous. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. The notion of The Secret. We all know the book, the movie, which I think is marvelous and beautiful and gives so much strong positive input about what is manifestation. But the problem with it being, the challenge of it is the way many people view it. It's not enough to have our conscious want something. It's not enough to write it down on a piece of paper or to put up on the wall an image of what it is that we are aspiring to. First, there's the obvious that we all, most of us at least I think, know. We need actions. Yes, there is the state of mind, the positivity, the faith, the vision. But without the actions, nothing will manifest and come to the planet. But I don't think I'm renewing anything for you guys. I think it's something that is quite obvious. You can't sit at home and pray for your knight in shining armor and expect him to knock on your door. Maybe it happens sometimes to some of you, but mostly you just need to get out there, and be a part of it. No, what I'm referring to, other than the obvious, which is the actions that we need to take, is the layer of our conscious and existence in which we install or operate that vision that we wish to manifest. What do I mean by that? We all know we have conscious, subconscious, right? The obvious levels that we're aware of, our thoughts, our emotions, our fears, our hopes that we are very much aware of. And then there is the subconscious. There's a really beautiful phrase that says, as long as your subconscious is divided from your conscious, as long as you are unaware of your subconscious, it will keep running you and you will call it fate. Right? So we have our subconscious, and say we're unaware of it or not in tuned to it. We have the things that are kind of, our back voices in our head. They run us. They make our choices. Our conscious feel very free and very strong, thinking, oh, we're the one making those choices. But it's actually things from past lifetimes or from our childhood that kind of run us. And then things happen to us that are allegedly not aligned with our conscious, with our straightforward thinking that we're aware of, and like, oh, it's fate, it's from above, it's from an exterior source, which of course I'm not taking from the strength of it. Yes, not everything is under our control or part of our manifestation. Some things are just a result of other people's actions, of the bigger mechanism. But many things that we feel like are exterior to us are actually just a reflection of our subconscious and the manifestation that is happening there. Real manifestation, the thing that actually turns the wheels of reality around, that brings forth reality in front of us, that is the reflection of, everything that we see around us is just a reflection of our subconscious. We literally create the matrix and build the video game of our reality as we go, but what motivates it, the writer, is our subconscious. So if we are not aware of it, if there's like this wall between the bottom layers and the higher layers of our mind, of our awareness, then we will try to manifest things with our thoughts and with our conscious, but nothing will work because our subconscious, you can tell yourself, I want a wonderful relationship with a very supportive, sweet man, but your subconscious is still in the experience that you had from childhood about what relationship is or what men are, or maybe even from past lifetimes. And your subconscious tells you that men are all liars and all cheaters and they will all hurt you. So it doesn't matter if your conscious tells you that men are beautiful and I'm having wonderful relationships with friends of mine, and I know my logic tells me that most of them are just phenomenal and beautiful and sweet. It doesn't matter if your subconscious tells you differently. And no matter how much you'll try to manifest from your conscious, from your awareness, your subconscious, as long as it tells otherwise, that is what it will attract. Manifestation happens in the subconscious. The way to actually tap into your manifestation powers is first and foremost, abso-fucking-lutely, through your subconscious. And what is in there? What is in your subconscious? Your fears, your shadows, your negativity, the little devils and the little demons. Not just outside of you, oh, what my parents did to me, oh, what experience I had in my childhood, what experience I had in past lifetimes. It's also you yourself. We are creatures of dark. We are creatures of dark and light. We are creatures of black and white, of day and night, of good and bad, of up and down, of below and above, of the wide and of the narrow. We are a reflection of creation. We are a reflection of Mother Nature. We are a reflection of the universe. And it all consists of all these powers, good and bad, scary and beautiful. All of it exists in us. All of those characteristics, all of those colors are within each and every single one of us. But what does positive thinking teach us? If you have a negative thought, don't suppress. Replace it with a positive thought. Okay, that sounds cute. Highly dangerous. I will explain why. What happens when you have a certain pain or a fear or something in you that you don't want to touch, that you dislike about yourself? Maybe you were judged for it as a child or as a young adult. Maybe it brought you to dangerous places where you were hurt. So you don't want that aspect in you. You don't want that characteristic in you. You don't want those emotions. You don't want these types of thinking. So what happens to it if we replace it with a positive thought? If we replace the negative behavior or characteristic that we have in us allegedly for a positive thing? Not allegedly, for a positive thing. What happens to that? Does it go somewhere? Does it dissolve and disappear? Energy is energy. We can transform the shape of it, or we can't get rid of it. Molecules are molecules. Energy is energy. Light is light. Darkness is the absence of light. But what exists, exists. Matter exists. It all depends on what kind of form we make of it. So if we take all those negative, scary aspects of ourselves, thoughts, characteristics, fears, etc., darkness, whatever it is that we fear in us, passion, sexuality, it all depends on who you are. If you're a religious woman, maybe you were taught that your sexuality and that your body are a sin. So you hide it underneath clothes. You hide it, and you hide it, and you hide it, and you hide it. Or maybe you become heavier weight. Maybe you have fat. Some of us, as children, were really picked on for being beautiful. So we were scared of it. We grew to be fearful. We don't want to be beautiful anymore because that will attract danger. Let's cover ourselves up. Let's not be beautiful. Let's be fat. Let's be ugly. Let's cover ourselves. It's just an example. Anything that we try to hide doesn't disappear. It just gets covered inside of us. Now, you can try to express that energy in different manners, in different ways, and then help it come out in a different way. That's legit. But most of the time, we just suppress it. And it stays in our cellars, in our basements, of our subconscious, of our stomach. It sits there and it stirs. We think it's gone because we replaced it with, I'm happy, or I'm not afraid, I'm brave, or I believe that men are kind and not cruel, or, I keep saying those mantras. You keep saying those mantras to yourself. But those monsters are hiding underneath the mantras, those monsters that you fear of so badly, and they are inside of you, right here ticking, and inside your stomach, and they sit there and they stir, and they are being fed by the other energy that you're covering it with. And it grows. And not only that it grows, and God forbid will explode one day, and God forbid a disease or anger, just in other ways. Because a balloon at one point explodes. If you keep, pumping air into it, it will explode. But it also sits there in your subconscious where manifestation happens, and it rules. So the very things that you're trying to disown, ignore about yourself, suppress, change with happy thoughts, they're not going anywhere. They're still there. And they're sitting in the subconscious because that's where you're pushing it towards, right? And we said that manifestation happens from the subconscious and from our stomachs, from the belly button. This is the thing, the womb. This is the thing that is connected to spirit, connected to source directly. And this is the thing that is connected to source directly. So these two things that are connected to source directly is where you put all your monsters and your demons and your fears. Then what do you manifest? Your monsters and your demons and your fears. Now, okay, I said all that. Great. Now what do we do? So what do we do with these fears? So what do we do with the negativity, with the sarcasm, with the darkness within us that we fear or that we want to channel in a positive manner? First, acknowledge them. Sit with yourself. What are my darkest, most demon-like type of behavior, passions, cravings, fears, thought process? What is it about myself that I think I need to either fix or heal or change? And bring it all up out into the open. First and foremost, before I'm talking about like your environment, I'm talking with yourself, awareness. Dear ladies, what do I really think about the man? Dear men, what do I really think about the female? What do I really think about success? What do I really think about passion? What do I really think about my dreams? What is the thing that I hate the most about myself, or that I fear most about myself, or that I fear most about others, and what of it lies in me or in my environment growing up? And I want you to look them in the eye, all these demons. I want you to say, hello. You are a part of me. You are a part of creation. Well, you do exist. Now you can go into the theories. No, the darkness is the inexistence of light. Yeah, you're right. But in emotion and in thought, you exist. The demon exists, right? Okay, you exist. You're here. You're in front of me. You're in me. What do you represent, and where are you coming from? And then I want you to have a conversation with them, but like not as if you're sitting in front of an enemy, but as if you're sitting in front of an old pal, reminiscing, cracking up. Go to the morbid humor. Be the giggle in a funeral. Laugh with them. Don't fear them. Don't try to suppress them, cut their heads off. Be like, hey, let's talk. Where do you come from? What is it that you want? What is it that you need? Well, you want an expression. You've been sitting down in the bottom of my stomach and of my subconscious for a long time. You've been feeling locked up and not acknowledged and feared of. So you stirred things up because you wanted to be acknowledged because you're also an existence. You're also something. And then you created all this reality of mine that I'm trying to change, but you're the real ruler. Okay. How do you do that? That's so awesome. Thank you. Wow. Teach me. Talk to that demon, to those demons. Make it fun. Laugh with them. Once you stop looking at them as demons and negative and horrible, dark things that you need to suppress, they are no longer those horrible things that you need to suppress. Now they are, funny entities that are part of a narrative, of a story. Maybe don't judge them as much. Maybe don't judge yourself as much. Now listen, if you have a deep craving of, God forbid, killing or hurting someone, I'm not saying actually go and behave in that way, but I want you to look it in the eye and face it and address it, because if you suppress it, that's how serial murderers happen. That's how gun shooters, people go into schools and play in movie theaters, start shooting at everyone, because those demons inside of them, they grew up with them for any reason, and they suppress, because we all know what's right and wrong. Whether we listen to it or not is something different, but we all have the society to tell us this is right, this is wrong. But they weren't treated, they weren't acknowledged, so they exploded one day and whoosh, massive blood. That's the real danger. If we don't want them to control and actually create dangerous mayhem, we have to heal them. How do we heal them? By ignoring them. Do you heal a disease by ignoring a disease? Sometimes in medicine, you give someone, a patient, something to bring out the disease, to actually make it stronger, just so you'll be able to address it and know exactly what that is. Maybe there's only a couple of symptoms. You're suspecting as a doctor that it might be one thing, but you're not exactly sure. So you're giving the body something in case it's that thing to help it grow and show itself. So you'll know, okay, this is what I need to do. I need you guys to listen to the symptoms and encourage yourself to have them come out so you can know what that is, so you can heal it, so you can address it. And maybe it's not something you need to heal. Maybe the thing that you're suppressing is your sexuality. Maybe the thing that you're suppressing is your passion. Passion is number one force of manifestation. Passion is the thing that connects lovers, that connects two souls, that makes a body being lured to another body, and that brings more life. The synergy between the bodies that happened thanks to the passion brought life into the world. Whatever it is that you're suppressing, bring it out. Address it. Is it really good, like in an objective world, or in the way I want, or the way my conscious think is good or bad? Okay, let's heal it if it's something that we don't want. But if it's something that maybe isn't so bad, and maybe we just need to change our perspective and our perception of it, at least now we know it's here, and let's work together. Once these things, these negative things, dark things, are no longer sitting in your subconscious and running you, Now you can really start manifesting. Now you can fill your subconscious with real positive things. And it's not by ignoring the negative. It's by changing your perception of them as positive. For example, I'll give you a practical example. You have a fear of a loss, of poverty, of being homeless. And you're always operating from there. Sit with yourself for a second. And I'm not talking about a situation where you're actually poor and about to lose your home. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're fine. You have money. You have a home. It's just this fear based on your past, based on whatever. Sit with yourself. Address this demon of poverty and homelessness and be like, hey, what's up? So why are you so worried? And then give it a list. Look at how much money we have in the bank. Let's go around and tour the place and start cracking up about it and be like, oh, it's funny that we're both afraid of it. And then you calm that actual demon, and then that demon starts smiling. Because that demon that is fearing being homeless, that homeless person inside of you, you show that demon that they have a home, that they are safe inside of you. And then a smile comes on their face. And then they're no longer a demon. They are a positive entity now that believes they have a home and they have food. And you're like, okay, now you can go back to hang out in the subconscious, but you're welcome to come to the conscious anytime. Not gonna fight you, not gonna suppress you, not gonna punch you, not gonna belittle you. I love you. You are a part of me. You are safe. And then before you know it, it's no longer a fear, it's no longer a demon, it's a friend that will only rise up when it's really the time. Let's say you lost your job, you lost your savings, God forbid. You really don't have money. You're really in danger of being out on the street. But you're in this positive thinking of manifestation. No, everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. Reality is fucked up. You need to fix shit up. Excuse my language. That is the danger of positive thinking at all costs. If you're in danger, in real danger, you have to be aware of it to fix it. Saying to yourself that everything is fine. No, everything will be fine. This is positive thinking. Everything will be fine if I acknowledge the situation right now, even if it's negative, even if it's nasty. I acknowledge it, I operate, I fix. That is positive behavior. That is positive thinking. Just covering it up with pink goo. Everything is okay, and then letting the ship, drown. That's not positive. That's letting yourself go down. It's the swan song. You're singing while you're drowning. How about start swimming? You're getting my picture? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Positive thinking is also, it's not about ignoring reality. It's about knowing what it is that we need to do in order to create a positive reality. It's a positive vision. If my positive vision is to be a kick-ass martial artist, then my behavior needs to be, I'm training, I'm focused. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's painful, but I'm doing this because I have a positive thinking that, for a positive vision. And when I do those push-ups, and when I kick, and when I'm tired as hell, I'm not telling myself, I'm fine. I'm like, no, this is painful. This hurts, but this strengthens me. And I can handle this pain because I've handled worse. So hello, pain. Thank you for being here. Thank you for strengthening me. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not denying you. I know what you are. And I also know your worth and what you have to give me. Thank you. And the more I focus on the pain and not suffering by it, but just like being grateful for it, suddenly I'm not actually feeling the pain. I have suddenly, it changes to this uplifting feeling of like, By feeling something deeply, then you stop feeling it. By feeling the pain or the loss, then you heal it. If you lose someone close, God forbid, to death, to anything, or a breakup, I don't care, I'm not feeling it, everything's fine. No, everything is not fine. You're sad. Address it. Be sad. Sadness is part of the human existence. It's part of your, what's the word? Range of personality, of the human behavior. It is just as beautiful as happiness. If you deny sadness, you will never truly be happy because you don't have the relation, the muscle memory, Body remembers what it's like to be sad. So when it feels happiness, it's like the relation to it, the difference is like you really feel the happiness. Does that make sense? I know it makes sense. I know you understand. I know you dig me. I'm not saying drown in sorrow, but give it room. Give your heart room. Give your fears room. Give your desires room. Oscar Wilde, I think he said, the best way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. And first time you hear it, it's so superficial. It's so weak. Oh, everything I want to do, I'm going to do. It's so much deeper. It kind of concludes, I think, everything I've been saying so far. Our temptations reflect our yearnings, our dreams, our power of manifestation. So if you yield to it, I'm not saying be an asshole and an idiot and go cheat and go lie and go steal and go no. But if it has to do with your inner truth, of your love, of your dream, of your creation, not hurting anybody, if it's just a matter of how the outside will perceive you, or how your judgmental voice in your head will perceive you, cut it all out. Manifestation is in our animalism. Because our animalism, our lowest, is connected to the highest. Because everything is a circle, right? It's not really a line that starts here and ends there. It's a line that starts here and ends here. As above, so below. Right is left. Everything is a circle. The planets all are round. Lines don't really exist in math. It's just it's a theoretical perception. So what is really, really deep inside of you is actually very high and beautiful. And if you really want to manifest your desires, your dreams, your aspirations, you have to go through the work. You can't just be like in the mantra, I am rich, I am loved, I am successful. It's not going to work unless you're truly lucky or somehow it kind of, I don't know, but like when it comes to the real essence of manifestation, you have to be a badass individual that is very, very self-aware. No self-awareness. If there's lots of walls between your conscious and your subconscious, if there's denial, if there's inability to acknowledge your own feelings, good and bad, you'll go through your life trying to manifest. Be like, oh, it doesn't work. Manifestation doesn't work. It doesn't work because you're doing it wrong. And it's not your fault. There's very little knowledge about true manifestation. You have to do, please don't get me the wrong way. There's always someone who's like, yes, light work of healing, of good intention. But what I'm about to say, do the dark work. It's not be evil, but go to your dark places. Go to the mystery. Go to the unknown. Make it known. Bring it up to light. You feel something for someone, say it. Let it out. You have a passion, express it. Don't be crazy, psychotic, obsessive. In a balanced, healthy way. no boundaries of reality and of respecting the people around you and their free will. But expression in a healthy way, in a positive manner of how you feel is not negative. Maybe you're scared of it. Maybe you're scared of the results. Maybe, I don't know. But if you're doing it in a balanced way, it's healthy for you. If it's a positive expression of a positive emotion, great. It's not supposed to hurt the person. And if they're hurt by it, that's their issues. If it's a negative expression of something negative that you're feeling towards someone, then express it in a positive, constructive manner. Don't do cursing, yellings, God forbid, hurting anybody. You're getting my picture. But expression to yourself first and foremost. Let's take this to another level. When you're asking for something, when you want something, please understand something very important. You cannot and may not and cannot, even if you want to, control another soul. You're in love with someone, you want them to love you too. You can't force them to love you. You can't cast a spell or manifest that specific person to fall in love with you. A spirit, a soul, a heart, they have their path, they have their karma, they have their journey, they have their light, they have their free choice. You cannot control them even if you want to. Because even if their physical expression, their body, their 3D, their mind, their heart, their psychology might be weak or unaware or easy to manipulative, the soul will not let you. Their higher self will just, no, you can't. What you can do, let's say you're trying to manifest a relationship or a job, is ask for the best thing for you. Describe it in general guidelines and ask for that and manifest that and focus on that. But if you try to control another being, which is a part of light and a part of creation and a part of the Great Spirit and a part of God and a part of you, if you go into the collective, trying to control someone else is trying to control yourself. Trying to manipulate someone else is trying to manipulate yourself. And love, that's the highest force that exists. Sorry, just kick the table. That's the highest force. The force of creation, the force of manifestation, the force of life. It's either real or it is real. Other than that, there's just illusion or obsession or lies or deceit for oneself and for the other. But you cannot, let's say that if your actions in reality make someone fall in love with you, it's because the love was already there and you just helped it. You helped them see or you helped them tap into it. But you can't make a heart feel something that wasn't there in the first place. You can help someone see you by helping getting rid of the fog or of the obstacles or of their fears if there's true love in their heart for you. But don't go doing, this is taking me to a very important topic, witchcraft, spells. Don't go try and cast a spell on someone to make them in love with you. You can, I don't know, say things as, if this person, if this individual has true love in their heart for me, help us, unite, help us get rid of the obstacles and the things that are in our way. That's a possibility, but always with requesting permission from their high self, from their soul, from their free choice. Because guess what? Even if someone does love you and you are recognizing the truth of your connection, maybe they have their karma to resolve. Maybe they have another journey to do before they unite with you. You don't want to mess with their process. If you truly love them, you don't want to mess with their path. So when it comes to manifestation, other than the fact that it needs to come through your subconscious and through your dark work, it needs to come with vast respect to free choice, not just of yourself, but of the other. Am I getting my Whatever. So we covered what is manifestation. We covered the moral aspect. It's not just a moral aspect, it's also a practical aspect. A soul is a very powerful thing. Don't try to control another soul, especially if you truly love them. True love is allowing someone to make their choices. Oh, another thing, very important. Our fuel for manifestation, that was just the first part of the journey. You know, breaking the doors between the conscious and the subconscious, and conveying and discussing with our demons and with our fear in an acknowledging manner. Another thing is, imagine you have all the instruments and the knowledge, you have the brushes and you have the canvas and you have the colors, but you don't have the talent to paint, or you don't have the energy, the hand to actually lift the pencil or the brush and paint or sketch. Will there be a creation? No. You need energy. How to become stronger and have strong energy for manifestation of light? Several things. First one, very important one, the fuel. The thing that we feed our body, our mind, our heart, and our spirit. What we eat. I'm going to continue. There's other things, but imagine you have a car or a motorcycle, right? There's a very specific type of oil and or fuel that you can put inside of it to feed it, to make sure that it runs properly. Would you put fuel that matches, I don't know, a truck or a car into a motorcycle? You will know. If you have a certain vehicle, you will know exactly the type of fuel you put in there, exactly the type of oil, the amount that you need in order to help it run smoothly. You wouldn't put water instead of fuel. Are you getting my picture? Your body is the same thing. It's a machine that carries your soul around. It's what you have. Treat it with respect because you need it to carry you around, to get shit done, to manifest stuff. You need your brain. Your brain is the engine, let's say. Let's say we are a car. The brain is the engine. The soul is the driver. You can have the best engine in the world, but if there's no driver, it's not going to move. And the fuel needs to be accurate. Energy. What you put inside your body. Let's talk about the physical aspect of things. Nutrition. Make sure your body is strong. Treat it well. Don't put shit into it. Processed food, antibiotics, hormones, everything from the animal kingdom. Oh my God, Shema Yisrael, I would say in Hebrew. Let's put aside for a second, even though I can't, but for a second, the animal abuse that happens in those industries. But let's think about it. Right now, we're talking about the mechanism, the machine, right? Your fuel. Put the right fuel inside your body. If you don't put the right fuel, you will be sick and or weak, God forbid. Example, many people think that they eat well and they don't understand why they have many allergies. If you have allergies, you're putting the wrong fuel. If you have allergies, your immune system is weak, meaning very open to everything, germs, diseases, etc. If you get cold every other month, flu, whatever, it's not because your environment. We are all around germs all the time. It's more of how your body takes it in and protects itself. Your immune system is made of good germs that fight good bacteria, that fights off battles off the bad guys. Yeah. But if all you put inside is bad guys, and nothing that supports the good guys, then your soldiers will drop dead one by one. Strengthen your immune system. Don't weaken it. What weakens the immune system? Antibiotics on a regular basis. The foods that you eat, the meats, dairies, those animals are stuffed with antibiotics to make them not die with the conditions that we're unfortunately raising them in. So those animals have in their flesh and in their milk that antibiotic. And that goes inside your body every time you're eating something with antibiotic, all these animal products. You're putting it inside your body on a regular basis. And what does antibiotics does? Think of the word antibiotic. The anti of the biotic. The anti of the good guys, of the good bios, of the good soldiers. It weakens you on a regular basis, which is why you're so open to disease. Let's go to dairies, for example. What is in milk? It's mucus. The cow's mucus, many people don't know it. The cow's mucus doesn't go out through her nose, it goes out through her milk. Yeah, that's mucus. And she also, the poor creature, also has antibiotics in her because they raise her, unfortunately, in very, very bad conditions. Those animals, they live in their feces and in their urine. They breathe ammonia all the time, so they're sick all the time. So they are given antibiotics all the time because we want them to live longer, to survive, so we can use them, All this antibiotics goes inside your body, weakens your immune system. The dairy, the mucus, with the antibiotic and the estrogen. Okay, a little bit of biology, one-on-one. And this is important, guys. We're talking about, you want to manifest? Yes, this is a part of it. Your fuel, your body is a part of it. Your strength, the energy that you need. Okay? If you keep weakening yourself on a regular basis, you don't have energy. So you can do everything that I just told you to do in a perfect way, but if you don't have the gift, the energy to actually do it and to fly to space with that rocket, then it's not going to happen. Okay? So that dairy has natural estrogen, which is a growth hormone. A growth hormone that as infants, all mammals, cows, baby cows, us humans need to expedite our growth, right? We're infants, we're babies, we want to grow fast. So we drink our mother's milk. So baby cows drink from the cow. And in the milk, there's natural estrogen, which is a natural growth hormone, which also exists in breast milk of the human female. So as infants, we need it. It's great. But here's a fun fact. We are human beings are the only creature on the planet that keeps consuming milk beyond its infant stages. Like all other mammals, they stop past their infant stages. They don't drink from their mother's milk when they grow. We do, and not only that we do, we actually drink a different mammal's. It's not our own breast milk. We drink a different mammal's milk that it's also filled with antibiotics and mucus. Biologically, it's really weird. I don't know how it happens to us, but it's really, really weird. So we consume this estrogen. And this estrogen that is very good for us as infants to grow doesn't know where to go in our body because our body is already grown. It doesn't need it. That's one specific type of estrogen. There's another type of estrogen in plant-based milk. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to make it a conversation about that. But just for the sake of this conversation about the fuel that we're putting inside our bodies, it's important for me to speak with you on one type of estrogen. Don't blame the estrogen in soy. That's a very big misconception. That's a different type of estrogen that is good for you. I'm talking about the estrogen that is growth hormone that is from the animal kingdom that is meant for us to grow. Okay? That estrogen, when you are a grown-ass human being, doesn't know what to do inside your body. It attaches itself to cells. And what is cancer? Cancer is a cell gone bad that is now overgrown beyond its proportions. So if a growth hormone attaches itself to a bad cell, what do we encourage? High cancer. So in one product, which is many products, it's our milk, it's our cheese, it's our, we put antibiotics that weakens our immune system. We put mucus that makes us very, sustainable to allergies and stuff, and we keep having these colds and mucus and boogers, and we don't know why. We put estrogen. It's a risk of cancer. Back in the days when there were no other options, I get it, okay. But today, guys, open your world. There's a whole new world out there. Coconut milk and soy milk and almond milk and cashew milk and rice and hemp and whatever you want. It's delicious. Try different stuff. See what you like. Drink it in your coffee. Put it in your cereal. Buy cheeses. There's enough made. They make today cheese of everything, of almond cheese and coconut cheese. It's delicious. It's special. Yes, it's different, but it's healthy. It's good for you. It doesn't abuse the cow. You don't have to go completely vegan, but have that in mind, that you need to put the right fuel inside of you. That goes again also for the flesh and for the meats. Processed meat are now, the World Health Organization put processed meat on the same cancer level causing as asbestos and cigarettes. Check it out. Many countries are now really reducing milk consumption within children in schools and processed meats and processed foods. Check. It's everywhere. You don't need to become a doctor, a biologist, or a scientist to know if I'm right or wrong. Just Google. Information is everywhere. There's no more excuse for ignorance. That's the thing. There's no more excuse for ignorance when information is everywhere. Okay, so we covered the physical aspect of the fuel that we need inside our body. Let's look at the spiritual, the energetic aspect of what it is that we put inside our body. We want to be creatures of light, to have energy of light, to manifest light, right? And good stuff in our life. How can we do that if all we put inside our body is energy of death and misery? Fear, anxiety, torment, it's all chemicals that we are releasing from our brain into our body. And the cow and the pig and the chicken, when they are tormented and scared shitless from what is coming, and they know, they're very aware creatures. Animals have the instincts of survival more than even we do. They smell danger. They smell blood from miles away more than we do. You think they don't know that they're about to die? You think they don't smell the cow that was in line in front of them in the slaughter machine or being hung upside down? They see it. They see her right in front of them. They're very aware creatures. All that anxiety, all that fear, all that pain is inside of their flesh and in their body, and then you eat it, you consume that energy. And you pay for it, you support it, right? Supply and demand. You're ordering the hit. Sit at a restaurant, everything is lovely, but we're looking at the energy of things, right? Not on the perception, not of the mask or the outfit. The outfit is beautiful and smells lovely. But let's go back. That thing that you put inside your body is the energy of misery and of torture that you support with your actions. When your direct action, say when you're paying for something that supports, or when you pay to an industry and that industry is taking your money, like, oh, this is worth it, right? Because it's money, it's business. This is giving me income. Okay, I'll keep supplying. So when your actions, when your hardworking money, you are choosing to put that into something that causes so much misery to innocent beings that are supposed to be your brothers and sisters, soul-wise, ego perception-wise, because for you, you are superior. But in the eyes of creation, you're not more important than the wolf. Because of wolves, there's rivers. Okay, you're not more important than the bee. If there's no bees, there's no ecological system, etc., etc., etc. I can go on and on and on about bugs and all animals. That if, God forbid, humankind was to be exterminated from the planet in like 50, 100 years, everything blossoms. But if certain animals are extinct from the planet, then in 50 to 100 years, there is no life. So put that in proportions. Put yourself in proportions in the eyes of creation, in the eyes of Mother Nature, in the eyes of God or the universe. If one animal goes away and there's no life, and one animal goes away and there's more life, where does it put you? You understand what I mean? So first, be humble. Don't look at yourself as superior. Yeah, you are more important to yourself because you are yourself, and I will care about my own family member before I will care about a stranger. But that doesn't mean that I think in objectivity that my family member is more important than the stranger. This is a human and this is a human, right? So you are a spirit and that is a spirit. that animal that you're not familiar with. Your dog is precious because you love it and you know it. The cow is not because you're not familiar with her, etc., etc. So try to shift your perception into a more objective kind of evolution, Mother Nature, creation, universe type of point of view, and see that all creatures on earth are equal and important. And if they feel pain, they feel pain. And if they want to live, but you're taking away their life, that's the karma that you're taking upon yourself. Do you understand? That is equal to hurting a human in the eyes of karma, in the eyes of the spiritual realm, in the eyes of energy. Every time you make an active action that hurts another being, even if you don't see it, just because you're ordering the hit and someone else pulls the trigger, you're the reason they pulled the trigger because you paid them, right? So they're the killer, but you're the one who asked for it. So keep that in mind. That's the energetic aspect where you put pain and misery and keep attracting negative karma. You hurt something, then you'll get hurt yourself, right? That's how karma hurts. That's how karma hurts, but that's also how karma works. What you put out there is what you receive. Just because you're not seeing the pain that you're inflicting on other beings doesn't mean that you're actually actively doing it. I just I love pretty things. I just ordered a beautiful vegan leather purse online. Yeah, there's options. Leather made of pineapple leather, mushroom leather. The world is so endless and beautiful. Just explore, have fun with it. If you are a foodie, someone who appreciates food, appreciate new cultures, likes to try out things, then dismissing vegan food just because it's different than what you're used to, that's not being a foodie. That's not being open-minded, etc. Okay, so that's the energetic level of it. So we covered the things that we don't want to put inside our body, that we don't want them to ruin our energy for manifestation, right? We have the physical aspect of the food, we have the energetic aspect of the food. Now let's think about our environment, the people in our life. Yeah, there are the people whom you generate energy within each other, who support your progress and your growth and your beauty and your dreams and encourage you and are happy when you're happy. And there are those who only seem to be there when you're sad and upset. And they seem to really, really enjoy it when you're sad and upset. And it makes them feel great about themselves. But once you, God forbid, succeed or are happy, then they're like, cool. Be very picky with your friends, especially with your lovers. Hell, even family members. They say blood is thicker than water. I say water is thicker than blood. If a family member treats you like shit, excuse my language, then they're not benevolent for you. If all you do is being kind to them and respectful to them, and in return they're disrespectful and dismissive, be particular with your environment. Fill your daily life with a support system, with a positive, encouraging, strong people that are there for you when it's good and when it's bad, when it's happy and when it's sad, when it's easygoing and lighthearted and when it's hard and you're going through a challenge or a difficulty. If they're only there for you when it's happy and fun, but once things go bad or things get a little real and they just disappear behind the curtain, those are not the people that are benevolent for you. They don't really care about you. They just want the superficial. Also the opposite. If they're there for you when you're sad and when you're upset and when you're in trouble and you're like, they're almost feeding off your sadness and your difficulties because it puts them in the hero state of mind. Like, oh, I'm the hero. I'm the strong person that takes care, that lifts them up. They need me, right? But once you succeed and happy and things are going well for you, they're like, oh. Be there for the people that you pretend or claim to love in all moments, or allow them their freedom when they need it. And have those people in your life that are there for you in all types of scenarios, and also know how to give you the freedom when you need it. If it means you're going down to one person, yeah. quality over quantity. If you want to manifest, if you want to control your energy, if you want to have strong energy, that's how you do it. Another thing, clearing out. The card of the Lovers in the tarot deck speaks about it. Be very vigilant with your energy, with whom is in your path, with what path you're walking on. Very accurate. And then little by little, I won't buy a lot of cheap things. I will buy one good quality product every now and then. Quality over quantity. Establish your energy. Do good. Even if you don't recuperate right in return. I'm not talking about being an idiot and a sucker, like AKA having a friend in your life that only takes advantage of you and only takes your energy but doesn't give in return. I mean, just operate from a positive place. And if you see that a person is only making advantage of you and using you, not giving in return, then step away. Stop giving, be away, but don't give negative. Don't be vengeful. Don't wish harm on anyone. Even if you notice someone is trying to hurt you, action-wise, don't let anybody hurt you. Don't let anybody spread rumors about you, lie about you, ruin opportunities for you. Be a warrior. Yeah, in 3D, be a warrior. Act to defend yourself. 100%. If you allow someone to hurt you, that's not helping your energy, no. But when it comes to your frequency and vibration and what it is that you express energy-wise, don't wish someone harm. Defend yourself. Do the actions that you need to do to protect yourself. 100%. But don't come retaliating with revenge once you saved yourself and put them in their place. Don't give extra negative energy than is absolutely needed. Like in self-defense, someone comes to hurt you, you defend yourself. But you try to put as much as proportional force as possible, if any. Right? You do what you need to do, you run away. You don't now I'm going to take revenge because you tried to, God forbid, steal something from me, so God forbid I'll try to kill you. No, you need proportions. So if someone does something to you, defend, and then just disappear from their life or have them disappear from your life. But always with light intention. Light meaning not like weight-wise, but like light. Truth, even if it's uncomfortable. In a positive, constructive manner, right? Don't go telling people, insulting them, because that comes from a nasty place. But if someone genuinely asks you for your opinion, genuinely give them your opinion in a constructive, positive communication vibe-wise. If you're feeling something, express it. Do not be ashamed of your heart, of your stomach, of your dreams. Have your goals, set your goals, work on the energy that you need to walk towards these goals, right? Know when to rest and when to act. It's very important. Don't overdo yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Be very, very in tune to your energy. If you're tired and you need to rest, rest. If you need to take a step back from your daily life, from people around you, do that. No extremities. Know when to return. Be calculated with your energy, with your actions, with your inactions, with what you put inside of you, with what you express outside of you, the way you express things. Always express yourself, but in a positive manner. Be loyal and be in tuned to your darkness and to your demons. Look them in the eye. Acknowledge them. Help them grow into angels. They are a part of you. Heal them. Don't be mad at them. Don't suppress them. Don't heal them by giving them a place. Divine Feminine. Today in Israel is the Women Day, Woman Day. The female has direct contact with Source because of her womb. She is Source. She is the creator. She is Gaia. She brings life. And that force was suppressed for so long in our reality, in our culture. If a woman is both beautiful and works with energy and, God forbid, smart, she must be possessed by the devil to burn her on stake. Because women were always perceived as one-dimensional by the patriarch culture, right? The patriarch point of view, perception. A woman, right? A woman in religious point of view, a woman is either the wife or the mistress. She's either the mother or the child. She's either the virgin or the whore. Here's the thing, guys, if you're watching, also women, we are all of these things. And women are now really waking up in the past century to back into their manifestation power, to their creational power, to their essence. We understand that we no longer have to choose if we're pure and good or sexual. We don't have to choose between different talents and different gifts. We're either at home feeding the babies or we're out working. We are all of these things. We are the Great Mother. We are Demeter, the goddess of life. We are Mother Nature, who consists of all the elements, the fire, the earth, the water, the air, the good, the bad, the day, the night, the life, the death. We are all these women. We are all these archetypes. Every single one of you beautiful feminine, divine feminine. And maybe you're in a body of a man, but you're still feminine. It's okay. I love you too. All of you. I love you all, men and women. Okay? All of you are wonderful creatures, but I'm giving room to the divine feminine. She was suppressed for long enough, and yes, she deserves to have her room right now, her place. We have been in the back seat for long enough, and now we're in the front seat. You don't get to complain for now switching roles and being in the back seat for a little bit. One day, when the extremities will find their balance, we will both be in the front. Sometimes you're the driver and I'm the passenger, and sometimes I'm the driver and you're the passengers. And no longer will there be like one of us is in the front and one of us is in the back seat. One of us driving and one of us is navigating. But right now, because we came from such extremity, where the divine feminine was suppressed so badly, into believing that she can only be one thing, and if she dares to explore her other characteristics, then she must be evil or diabolic or a whore or crazy. Now, in order for us to find healing and balance, we have to push through the other extremity of, yes, guys, take the back seat. Yeah. And in the past century, women now have the right to vote, and etc. The growth process is enormous. I don't think many of us are aware of what time in history we are living in. It's really, if when we will look back at this time 100 years from now, 150 years from now, this will be a very big shift. The time that we're living in. Freeing of the slaves, freeing of women. Now there's more and more awareness and consciousness to the animal kingdom and to their rights, and how we have been enslaving them and torturing them and using them for our selfish needs that are no longer really needs. Like, we're not in survival. You don't need the fur to keep warm. You can go buy a different type of coat. You're not in the woods, dude. Gal. There's options. So don't give me the survival thing, because you're not in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, when someone, God forbid, tries to kill you, and from self-defense you're hurting them, that's survival mode. But that's like saying, oh, I hurt this person, even though they didn't do anything to hurt me. But hey, in survival, if they were to hurt me, then I was to kill them. Okay, so in nature, if a cow were to, God forbid, attack you, then yeah, maybe you will attack it back. But a cow is not trying to attack you right now. Neither does the pig or the chicken. just for proportions. So now there's this awakening in the past 100 years and 50 years and 10 years since social media, 10, 15 years. There's this awareness, and we're growing. So yeah, there's a shift. Women are now recognizing, remembering our strength and our abilities and our vast existence. And you know how even in career, like, oh, you have to be focused and choose one thing. No, if you're very, very diverse and very, very talented, do everything that you have enough energy and time to do. If it works, if you're making it work, great. Renaissance people are inspiring. They used to be perceived as lost or unfocused or, oh, they don't know what they want. They know everything that they want. They're just curious and talented enough to know, to want to do a lot of things, to be able to do a lot of things, and they have enough energy to pursue a lot of things. That's amazing. That's the Leonardo da Vinci's. Renaissance people. I'm a Renaissance woman. I'm an actress. I'm a producer. I'm a tarot reader. I'm an intuitive healer. And I'm a karateka. I'm a martial artist. And I am not apologizing. I am all of the above. Hire me for all of the above. Yeah. Because I can give not 100%, 200% in every single one of these things. And more. If I can, if I bring results, then great. If I don't bring results, if I'm not, showing results in reality, then okay, no. But if someone in front of you, if you are a woman sitting there and being like, I love this and I like that, what should I choose? Why would you choose? Express yourself. Manifest all of it. If you listen to all this, an hour and 10 minutes. Wow. All right, whatever. If you listen to all of this, you're working on manifestation. Do the amount of things that you have enough energy for. But if you're a real energy worker and you manage to establish a lot of energy within you using maybe the tips that I've given you in this video, and you feel like you can do more than one thing, more than 3 things, go for it. Fly. Spread your talents. Don't apologize. Now, because of the shift, because the collective masculine mind is not used to seeing the collective feminine being so vast and doing so many things, they're kind of lost in, like, they don't know what to do with us. Like, okay, so you're also sweet and kind and loving. Okay, I can look at you as the wife. Yeah. Oh, wait, but you're also acting seductive and sexual and very and sharp and strong and career-oriented. Wait, okay, so maybe you're just a mistress? Maybe I just need to be with you for a while for the experience, but I can't marry you because you're too independent or whatever. See, that's how many men think, even if not in your conscious, dear lovely men. Your collective subconscious of many lifetimes still has that way of thinking that a woman is either this or that. No, a woman is this beautiful, enormous, vast creature that is all of the above. Admire her for it. Don't fear her. Don't dismiss her, humiliate her, make her feel like there's something wrong with her for being so vast and amazing and talented. You don't need to put a woman in a frame. She's not either this or that or that. She is all of the above. She is Mother Nature. She is Gaia. She is the great creator. She is all the elements. Accept her. Respect her. Love her for all of these things. You will be the happiest man alive. If you will grow out of the fear, of the subconscious fear that you as a collective masculine have from a religious point of view of years, of decades of suppression of the female, right? If you were a hero, if you were an outsider, if you were a healer, then you were a witch, or you were evil, and you were burned on stake, or you would be cast out of society. God forbid. You'll show strength and independence and a way of thinking that is bigger and higher than the norm. And now, because women are starting to reconnect to their power, But we are all, both men and women, are still, we're in the middle between, we're on that bridge between the old world and the new world. The old world where the man would be the support system and the warrior and the provider, and the woman would stay at home and feed the babies. And if a woman was independent, it was like weird, and you wouldn't know where to put her. It's like, no, she's the cast, the outsider. But today, the new world, which is back to the ancient world, we'll get to it, but the new world that we're heading towards is a woman is all of the above. She is the Virgin Mary and the whore, whatever. She is the mother and the child. She is the sweetheart and the seductive. She is the naive and the smart. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's so hard for so many men to grasp it right now. And it's so hard for so many women to be loyal to that new understanding of what they really are and find love, because they feel like I'm also speaking for myself, we feel like you guys can't have us with our full glory, that you guys can't handle it, that it threatens you in a way, scares you in a way. So what many women do, they lower themselves, they belittle themselves to not threaten you. They literally play dumb, or act weak to help you feel strong and masculine. Like, do you understand that? Is that the kind of man that you want to be? I'm not saying that romance is dead. I love it when a man opens the door for me or picks up the tab in the first few dates just out of, showing me that they enjoyed it. It's tradition. It's symbolic. Okay? But when you take that symbolism and that romance and think that you are paying for me because I need it rather than because you want to show me that you enjoyed your time with me, that's the problem. And if I, God forbid, show you that I can support myself and you're threatened by it, or maybe you start counting how much I'm making versus how much you're making, that's a problem, because we are stepping into a world where women are reconnecting into their force of nature. And you need to love it and admire it, or you will be lost in it. And what did I mean by a new world that is actually the ancient world? Before religion, before patriarchy, not many know, but the culture was tribal. The indigenous people, the Celtics, the Vikings. Women were warriors. They were equal part of the ecological system of society. They were leaders. They were providers, they were hunters, they were gatherers, they were all of the above. The Great Mother was worshipped. And then it was manipulated into being something evil. Like it's a war tactic. When someone wants to defeat someone else, a tactic is to make them look bad. Make them take all their positive aspects and characteristics and distort them into looking negative. You're smart? Oh, it's the devil talking from you. Because a woman can't be smart, no, so it's the devil, right? You're a healer? You're helping people? Oh, then if you have the power of healing, then you have the power of sorcery and evil control, right? So you're also bad witch. You're dangerous. You're evil. And that's what patriarchy did to matriarchy. Completely suppressed the divine feminine, making it look bad if, God forbid, she's connected to her force, to her powers. And we were haunted. What happens when you're being haunted down? Survival mechanism. What do I need to do? Hide my powers. My powers are threatening. My powers are getting me killed or burned or hung or hanged. I don't have powers. I'm not strong. I'm sweet and cute and lovely. And I need you so much to survive. Do you understand what I mean? Men, if you're watching this and you think I'm mad at you, I'm not mad at you. Lovely, sweet you. The collective masculine hurt the collective feminine. And now when the scales are starting to shift a little bit, I'll give you an example that really angered me. I had a conversation with a white male who never went through sort of suppression or was haunted for anything. He is a writer, and he wrote a scene that a female producer told him to change or to, because it's not feminist or it's hurting the perception of the feminine, and he was very upset by it. Now, disregarding whether it's true or false, what the decision that this producer made, whether it's really supporting the collective feminine or maybe it's not, it doesn't matter the right and the wrong. What matters is how much he whined about it. And he said, if I was a woman writing about it, they would keep that scene. And I suggested, hey, why don't you change your name to a woman and, send that script and see what they say. He said, I will not give up my credit. Now, even though I understand it, credit is important. You work hard. You want to be, you want to be acknowledged for it. It made me think about all the endless women throughout history that couldn't be writers and couldn't be priests, spiritual guides or leaders or whatever, and they had to dress up as men, literally transform their entire appearance to look as men to survive. There are women in Muslim countries, in Afghanistan, for example, a woman can't use money to buy something. She can't walk in the street free without her father or husband or brother or without a hijab. There are places in the world that literally a woman can't say her name. Hi, my name is, without a man being next to her saying her name, or maybe her name is only to be known to a close family member or a husband. Pope Joanna, to become a pope, to become a spiritual leader, she had to pretend to be a man. Female authors and writers and poets throughout history changed their names into male names in order to express their art. And he's standing in front of me, in front of a Jewish, half Moroccan female. I'm not going to change my name. And he pretends to write about feminism, and he understands nothing of persecution. So if you don't understand anything about persecution because you were fortunate to be born something specific, of a certain culture, of a certain color, etc., great for you, and I'm happy for you, and I'm not judging you for it. But don't you dare not see the bigger picture of it and complain. I'm not saying that it's justified. Maybe your scene is worthy, but have a little bit, be humble. Have a little bit of proportions. So yes, in the times of major shifts and major change for equality, there could be some injustice to wonderful, great, lovely men who did nothing to hurt the divine feminine or women that are feminists themselves, but they will be, by that shift, maybe they will hire a woman instead of a man just to balance the scale because there are too many men in that company and now we need more women. So yeah, both of us are going for an interview. You will be very qualified. I will be very qualified, and they will take me for being a woman rather than, and you not for being a man. Accept it. Yes. Look at all the opportunities that you've had in your life in the past that you were given at the expense of women because them being women. For centuries, you were paid twice as much as a woman for doing the same job. Don't bitch and whine about this right now. If I'm losing some of you for speaking out the truth, oh well. Me, as a white-looking woman, because I'm not, never mind, but as a white-looking woman, I will not bitch for someone getting a job just for being black because they need to, I don't know, justice, whatever. I will look back and see the persecution of the African American culture. And I will understand that this is our delicate times and that we're working on balancing and shifting the situation and the scale. So I will Be humble and I will understand. Yeah, I will. I do have the right to bitch a little bit because I'm Jewish, the Holocaust and all that jazz. But I'm not really going, I'm not really supporting the victim thing. Like, I don't go back to being, oh, I was a Jew and I was persecuted. Oh, I was a female and I was persecuted. The only reason I'm talking about these things is to convey a message. But in daily living, no, you don't need to play the role of the victim if you were of a group or of a color or of a religion or of a minority that was persecuted in any way. Learn from it, of course, acknowledge your culture and your history and your past, but don't walk from it and by it and operate from it, right? Be like, just treat yourself as an individual, as a human, regardless of your color or of your gender. Own your strength and don't use that victim kind of game to get things. But if that happens, just have an understanding. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, this conversation took a really interesting turn. But it was important. It was important to convey a message. Major shifts are happening right now, and we need to be very humble and delicate and fierce. Interesting combination, delicate and fierce, humble and fierce, yeah. That's what we need to have. We need to be fierce with our abilities and with expressing them. We need to be gentle and humble and understand that these times are massive shifts, and we need to be happy for those who are now rising. If we were always on top, and now it's our turn to maybe take a little bit of the back seat to allow someone else to feel, to be empowered, to tap into their strength. Don't worry. Times are changing so fast. It's not going to take another century to get balance. Okay? Very, very soon, we will both be in the front seat. Divine feminine and divine masculine. All the colors, all the genders, all the religions. Humans and animals. Right now, there's so many shifts, and we need to kind of fix things so that balance is changing. Sometimes you're in front, sometimes you're in the back, etc. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're at the bottom. But little by little, we will all be in the front seat of this journey, equal and beautiful. Once we tap into our love and power of the soul, of our spirit, with truth, with courage, with patience and understanding to the journey of the other. Once we are all tapped into our inner driver and navigator, we will all be in the front seat. But until then, yes, we need to be patient to the shift. And that behavioral pattern generates energy. What else generates energy? Because we're in manifestation, right? Dream work. Go to bed. Ask for your guidance and from spirits and from energy and from life source to fill you up with energy. There's endless energy in the universe. You just need to hey. And similar attracts, like attracts. Give positive energy of light, you will receive positive energy of light. You want attention for someone, give them attention. You want kindness from someone, give them kindness. Same with the universe. You want energy from the universe, vibrate with light. Be the light that you want, that you seek. You seek for light, you seek for guidance. Be that light. Be light for others. Be guidance for others. Help others, show others, teach others. And then you will have teachers and guidance come to you as well, because that's how the universe miraculously works. It's beautiful. If you're only looking for guidance and light from outside sources and you're staying in your dark and not giving to anybody else and you're just expecting people to teach you and help you, then they won't come to you. But if you give from your knowledge and from your abilities to someone else, maybe that someone will give back to you one day, but don't do it with expectations of return, right? Just give. And if not, then the energy will find a way to give it back to you, right? Because we said energy is energy. It just changes its form, but it doesn't disappear. So if you generate energy of giving and of light, it's out there. And because everything is circular, it will return to you like a boomerang. Same goes for negative. Be the light that you wish to have. Be the guidance you wish to receive. Thank you so much for staying in so far. An hour and 27 minutes and 19 seconds. If you are subscribed, thank you. If you liked, thank you. If you share, comment, thank you. You should know, I read all your comments. I can't always respond to everything because there's a lot of them. So sometimes I try to press like, but sometimes I miss some. I read all of them. Sometimes I miss the opportunity to press like, that's what I meant. But I read all of them. I appreciate all your positive feedback and the fact that you take your time to write something for me, that you take your time to listen to me. I'm so grateful and humbled by that. I can't even, this journey has been amazing. I've been reading tarot for about 13 years. I've been helping people simultaneously to my career as an actress, but I've been helping people for that duration of time. But this project of YouTube videos, I started in January, just 2.5 months ago. And it's amazing. Your views and your comments and people, you guys come to me for sessions. You should know, if you're interested, I do private sessions through Skype. Just email me. I have my email at the bottom for details. It's super easy. If you want to book me for an event, or if you have an idea for a gathering, for a group session, offer me, write me. We'll make it happen. We'll see what we can do. I read all of your comments, and thank you for also constructive feedback. As I said in the beginning, like the sound, I hope the sound now is better. Just be mindful of the way you're expressing yourself. I am very vigilant with my energy and with what I allow in my universe. If you're a nasty ass individual that is just sitting on the couch bored and like to judge other people who do while you don't, not out of my realm. Ciao. Not apologizing. Don't care. But if you're awesome, and if you're a seeker, and if you have a beautiful intention, welcome. Hi, welcome. So you can find me on Instagram on the Existential Shifter. You can find me on Facebook as Morgainne, Morgane. I have a page. I will put the links in the bottom. I always put the links at the bottom. And private sessions. I do hourly sessions, live, with chat, Skype, FaceTime, whatever. And I know I said thank you, but I want to just say again, thank you for being here. And I hope I help you in any way, or inspire you in any way to grow and to prosper and to succeed and to, just open up to this beautiful world out there that is beyond the matrix that we see in front of us, beyond the 3DS. There's the 4th dimension, there's the 5th dimension. Just to set an example of what it is. So we operate in 3D, right? The reality, we have above, below, right, left, the perception of space. We can't exactly always comprehend the notion of 5D. We're like, okay, but what does that mean? That's like, a worm lives in 2 dimensions. She lives on the flat surface of a world. If she's walking on a paper, the worm, she knows front, back, right, left, but it doesn't have the perception of space. So when you try to speak to a worm about the 3D that we live in, it's like, but what does it mean? Same for us. The fact that we don't grasp something doesn't cancel its existence. It's existent, right? So just because we don't understand the notion of 5D or of other realms and other dimensions doesn't automatically mean that they don't exist. We have that ability to grasp. It's in our brain somehow, because our brain is a metonymy, as a micro of the macro, right? The universal existence is right here in our brain. It's the Orion's belt. But we managed to investigate 8% of our brain? I don't know, so and so. There is this neurology knows so much and yet has so much it doesn't know. Like, ask any neurologist. So much of it, we have no idea what goes on there. And if in that little aspect of knowledge that we have about our human brain, if we have managed to already discover quantum physics. Oh, speaking of manifestation, quantum physics. About a century ago, different scientists gave different shapes for molecules in the water. All respected scientists, okay, so who is right, who is wrong? What, the shape is this and that? This looks different, this looks different. So, okay, there's something to investigate. They put a glass of water or a bowl of water, don't get me by the word, maybe it was a little bit different, but they put water in the middle of the room. Each time a different scientist alone went into the room, looked through their, thingy, and have their findings to be this X amount, this X shape of molecules is in the water. Molecules have this shape. And another scientist goes in and he looks at a different shape and takes an image of it. And the conclusion that they arrived to is that our heartbeat, how we feel, how we think, literally affects the molecules, the shape of the molecules. We have the power to shift the shape of molecules, of atoms, of reality. Because we're made of molecules. Everything is molecules. Molecules. So the heart frequency, how you feel, how you think, shifts molecules, their shape. That's quantum physics. So if we really, quantum physics is a vast world, and I don't pretend to know everything about it. I'm not a scientist. I speak from general knowledge. But what it says basically is that the power of the mind is real. The power of the heart is real. How we feel shifts reality. It doesn't just it changes our perception of something. Our perception, let's say this is my hand. I look at it now. I see 5 fingers. But if I were to be outside and a pilot came from above, they will only see maybe a small dot. And if I put it in the water and a shark were to come, it will only see the infrared, the heat of the hand, right? So the hand is the same hand, but perception changes how it looks. I'm not talking about perception change, that the hand is still the same hand. I'm talking about real shift of molecules. Quantum physics literally says the molecule, their shape changes according to our heartbeat and our emotions and our thought, which is a whole other world on its own. So once we have energy, strong energy that we work on according to what we put inside ourselves and what we export from ourselves, etc., everything that we've spoken about, we have enough energy, theoretically, we can shift the molecules around us. It's just the difference is condensity, okay? Matter, condensed matter, means that molecules are just really more condensed. They move slower and closer to each other, like what happens with cold. That's why cold makes water liquid into ice, which is more concrete, right? It condenses the molecules, the cold. But the heat melts things, right? The heat will melt the ice cube into water, into liquid, and the heat will evaporate the liquid, the water, into fumes, right? Into gas. So in heat, the molecules move faster, further away from each other. They're not as condensed, so they look more, more vague, more foggy-like, more gas. So it's basically heat versus cold that changes the shape of things, alongside speed, right? If something moves fast, molecules move fast in heat, it's more dissolved. It's more either liquid or gas. If it moves slower, aka also in cold, it's more condensed. E equals mc squared. That's Einstein. E, energy, equals m, mass, times c squared, times the speed of light, times the speed of light. In earthly world words, in simple words, energy equals mass times the speed of light times the speed of light. Meaning the only thing that separates between energy and mass, spiritual and fact, thought and matter, energy and matter. The only thing that separates between them is the speed of light, is speed. Now, it's not the only thing. It's not like I can make something move in the speed of light. You need machines for that can make something move fast at the speed of light times the speed of light, because it's the speed of light squared, right? E equals mc squared. But theoretically, just so we understand and grasp, what separates matter, material, from the ethereal realm, from energy, the energy of electricity, the energy of light, the energy of music, whatever, energy, the energy of life, ki, chi, etc., is speed, is movement. Shift your life, manifest your life, change the molecules, the shape of them, with your speed, with your movements, with your thought, with your emotion. You want to be able to move faster or slower according to the rhythm that you need right now, more condensed, reality is more condensed, reality is more fluid, reality is more gassy, whatever. And have control over speed. If you want to have control over speed, if you want to be a badass car that can go from 0 to 100 in seconds or from 200 to 50 in seconds, you need to be a hell of a good driver, and to have skills, you need to have good, strong energy of manifestation, right? So be careful with the things that you put inside your body and the things that you export from your body in your behavior and in your actions and in your consumption and the people around you, etc., etc., everything that I've spoken of. Yeah, be another. Oh my God, this is getting longer, but this is very important also because this is about manifestation, and I'm gonna try to cover everything up, cover all the aspects of it. Elements. Mother Nature, the greatest creator, right? Greatest wizard of life and death. She works with the element, water, earth, fire, air. These are the aspects of ourselves. It's also what a deck of cards, a classic deck of cards consists of. The fire, the wands, the will. The earth, the coins, the body, the physical, the survival, security, the 3D. The water, the cups, the emotion, the faith, the flow, the renewal, the heart. The air, the swords, the thought, the cognitive, the decision-making, the karmic lessons, spirituality. If you only focus on work and action on your earth element, if you only focus on your emotional element, the water element, if you only focus on your air, cognitive logic element, if you only focus on your fire and your will and your desired element, no balance, no ability to manifest, to create. Remember, Mother Nature operates with all these elements. They're different from each other, but they create the ecological balance. This also needs an ecological balance. Tap into all your elements. Give room to all your demons that you're scared of. You're scared of your heart and of your emotions. Too bad. It's the element of water. You need it. You're scared of the element of only be practical and only, work for money. And you think, oh, it's superficial. I want to be a free spirit. I want to just be spiritual. I want to just flow from the heart. I want to just go with my passions. I don't want to be someone who cares about the practical or about the realism or about money or survival. I don't care. Guess what? You're imbalanced. Earth is what holds all the elements. If you don't have earth, if you don't have the first floors, food, shelter, security, then you're just lost. If you have the earth, then you're a traveler. You go and you have a place to return to. You go and you explore and you have a place to return to. You explore with your fire, explore with your water, explore with your air. But you need the earth to hold you. If you don't have earth element, all these things, all these elements will just go lost. You'll get lost. If you're a spirituality, a lot of people go mad. Why? Because they are only in the spiritual realm. They're only in the emotional realm. They're only in the passion realm, but they forget the realm of the earth, of being connected to reality, of being practical as well. Find the balance between all the elements. You have 2 strong elements and the other are weak, you won't be a good manifester. You have 3 powerful elements, but the 4th is you're not a good manifester. Work on all of them. Yeah, it requires work, huh? It's not so simple. Well, it gets simple. It's like a skill. Once you have it figured out, It becomes a second nature. First, it's all weird. When you learn something new, when you learn a new skill, it's like, how did these people do it? But yeah, you can. Okay, so I gave you the conclusion of the thank you and the how you get to my private sessions, blah, blah, blah. And then I started talking about manifestation. But you know what? I wanted to, like, once I finish this video, I'll probably be like, oh, I forgot this and that. Oh, well. It's long enough anyway. Okay, guys. What is this? This is The Dream by Picasso. It's a reproduction, of course. I don't actually own a Picasso, but maybe one day. Huh? I think it's beautiful. It has both the female, speaking of, the female and the masculine in one body. And here the breast is also the sun, and there's the water. I think it's beautiful and surreal and real. It's the unity of the divine masculine and divine feminine in one. I think it's pretty. She's dreaming, or he's dreaming. This entity is dreaming. And the face is like the shape of the heart. Did I not just sell you this painting? I sold oil paintings in Europe for years. I was in Ireland and in Germany twice, and in Sweden and in the Netherlands. I was a framer in Ireland. I sold a painting. I was a sales coach. It's a very interesting time in my life. But now I'm here. Yeah, I did all these things. Yeah, I'm also an art dealer. Not apologizing. You don't apologize for your gifts and for your abilities and for your knowledge. But also know when to back off, and if you feel like energies around you is envious and jealous and negative, be smart. Know when to, disappear from one area, go shine elsewhere, strengthen yourself elsewhere. Sometimes people think when I disappear or they don't see me that maybe I'm lost or weak or whatever. No, I'm just out there shining elsewhere because you couldn't handle my light. It was too bright for you, so you started being all nasty to me, putting sunglasses, denying me, making me feel bad for shining. So I'm like, okay, you don't want my warmth? Someone else will go to enjoy it. And then I come back 10 gazillion times stronger and better. Shining even brighter. Put on your even darker sunglasses to hide or take them off and enjoy the light.